Hi, so this is the hand that I want to talk about today, and it occurred after a long session with this slasher Jason guy right here. Wait, this occurred after a long session with the slasher Jason guy, and this guy is a maniac. So he thinks he can bluff me off every hand, and it's really irritating, and I fold a lot, so he is often bluffing me out of every hand. So I'm irritated by this, so I want to get my money back from this guy. So for the beginning of the session, he just kept bluffing me out of every hand, and he showed one hand where he had it, and I thought he always had it, but in reality he just bluffs me out of every hand. So against maniacs, you have to. I remember that I have to be. Any medium or top pair is a premium if you play a maniac. And this I forgot when playing against this guy. Anyway, so he kept bluffing me out every hand. About 5 hands before this hand, I finally won some money out of him. And the hand before that, I lost a lot of money because he got there by the river, and I thought he was still bluffing, so I called him and I lost a lot of money. But then the hand before, 5 hands before this hand, I won a lot of money on the river. I mean, on the just because I got lucky, and he flopped a flush, and I got there by the river and got a full house by the river. So I was able to raise him all in, and he called me, and then he died. This guy, he bluffs every hand, bluffs a lot, and he calls with worse hands a lot. Like, he always thinks people are bluffing him because he's thinking about bluffing other people, and so he thinks other people are always bluffing him. So all this that I'm talking about set up for this hand. And this hand was between me, this guy, and this other guy, this reg right here. And so here's how it starts. Slasher Jason raises to 2 big blinds as usual, trying to target me. And I was gonna 3-bet him, but then this guy over here, he re-raises the 3 bets to this amount. So he re-raises to whatever this amount is, whatever that is, and then of course it folds to me, and I got ace queen. So I'm thinking right now that I could either 4-bet or I could just call. And considering that, like, Slasher Jason is in middle position, he's in the cutoff, and through immediately 4-bet him, 3-bet him right after, and he's in the hijack or low jack. So his range is pretty tight. Like, his range is pretty good, like pretty tough. So I did not think ace queen could beat his range. So that's why I just flat it. So flat it, and then of course Slasher Jason, being the noob that he is, he just went in. Like he just called it. Like, because he always thinks he can flop something good, and if he flops something good, he'll get a lot of money. So he just called it. And then the flop was great. I mean, look at that flop. Beautiful for me. And my plan was to, because Slasher Jason, he's best every hand even with nothing. So I was thinking I was going to check him to him, and he let him bet, and then on the turn, wherever the turn is, I'm going to check it to him again, and when he bets, I'm going to go all in. Because he won't have much left after he bets the turn. Because I know he's going to bet the flop, and then I know he's going to bet the turn, so that's my plan. So I check it to him, He bets, fires as usual, half pot, whatever it is. And then through comes along. And this didn't really worry me right now because through, man, like he could have ace king and be drawing right now. Or he could have ace queen like me, so he could have ace jack, maybe ace jack, but not too sure because when he re-raised Slasher Jason on the pre-flop, I thought that maybe ace jack's not in his range because he's in Slasher Jason's in the cutoff and he's in through is in the hijack. So I thought that was he was pretty tight. So I didn't think he had ace jack. But maybe ace king or ace queen or king king or ace ace. But I didn't think he had jack jacks either. So I called this with the expectation that Slasher Jason's gonna bet the river, bet the turn again, and then I'm just gonna go all in on him. So I called him on the Slasher Jason on the flop, and let's go to the turn. The turn is a jack. So right there, I was really mad. I was really not happy because even though Slasher Jason may have like nothing, he could have like something like I have no idea what he has like at this point. Like I thought he could have like anything, like he's some random like 10-5 something like that, or 4-5 or something like that. He could have anything. But I was very concerned about what through had because through he could have ace king and he'd be dominating me, or he could have ace queen. He could be dominating me. I'm not sure if he has ace jack, but he could have kings or aces, and that would suck me as well. I don't think he has queen jack because he three betted Slasher Jason on the pre-flop, so I don't think he has queen jack. So my usual thing. My original plan was to just check it to Slasher Jason. Check. Slasher Jason, of course, he bets whatever draw or messed up lower pair he has. And he does it bet small. How bet small is it? Oh. Yeah, he bets really small. And through comes along. So at this point, and then it gets to me. And I was like, oh man, what did through come along? Maybe he has ace jack or ace queen. That's what I was hoping he had. Because my next move was to just raise Slasher Jason all in. But I was just so concerned about what through had. Because I just don't know. Could he have ace king? Could he have ace queen? Could he have ace jack? Please have ace jack. And, like, could he have kings? Yeah, he could have kings too, or aces. So when he called this, I was really concerned, but I was so focused on getting Slasher Jason's money that I just wanted to ignore what through had. So I did my usual plan. I did what I thought I would do. And what was the other thing I want to talk about? The thing I want. Yeah. So I did my usual plan. I took a long time thinking about this, and I just went, bam, did my thing, re-raised them, did my original plan. So I slashed all this money in, slammed it in, and then Slasher Jason, of course, he took a while, but he being the noob that he is, and he's being a maniac who is loose in terms of betting and in terms of calling, he called, and he went to through, and this was the decision point for me. Like, this was like, oh my god, please don't have anything through. Please have ace jack. And so, through re-raised me. All my remaining dollars, he just went all in. At this point, I was sick. I was so mad. I was so panicking right now. because that was one thing that I did not want him to do. I want him to fold because I didn't want him to have anything. But he raised me, so I was so mad. I was just so irritated, and I was so uncomfortable with the spot. But he was for so little, much more. So, I mean, it's pretty much nothing over my original raise. It's just like 45 cents. So I had to call him off. So I called him off. I called, and Sasser Jason, of course, he had nothing. He's a noob, and he's looking at the pot odds too, and he just calls whatever. And then the king comes, and I'm saved. I'm thinking, oh yeah, sweet, I'm saved. And then so I immediately just shoved my money in, shipped my money in. And of course, Sasser Jason, he took a while, and he took a while to call this, actually, for him. Like, usually he calls very fast or very slow. I mean, he calls very fast, and he took a while to call this, even though it was just a little bit. So, I thought I might be chopping with this guy through. So, whatever. I was so happy that I was going to win at least some part of the pot. So, he called, Sasser Jason calls, and now we show our hand. I don't know what the heck this 0.08 is, but whatever. Oh, that's the side pot. That's the side pot that we had. This is me making a side pot, and this is his calling my side pot bet. So we went to it, and now I see how screwed up I was. Drew had jacks, pocket jacks on the, and you hit it on the turn. So his plan, I think, was to, because he knew Slasher Jason had nothing, he called Slasher Jason on the flop with the expectation to just keep calling him on the turn in the river. But on the turn he got there, and he must have called Sasser Jason's bet on the turn because he was planning to re-raise them on the river. But it was me who re-raised all of them on the turn. And he was so happy with that because he just wanted all his money to go in. So he was so happy. But I luck boxed the river with my ace queen. I just outdrew him. And that's what happened. What did Sasser Jason have? He had 8-10. So he must have thought he hit the flop, so he bet, and then when he got another flush draw, he bet again. And I put all this into the equity calculator, and it turned out that on the turn, I would have the lowest equity because this guy had all the equity, and Sasser Jason, he had on the turn, if he had hit a 9, he would have won all that money. Or if he hit a flush, his heart flush draw, if he hit his flush, he would have won all that money. And my only out was the king, and that's what happened on the river. So I had the lowest equity on the turn. And that is the hand. I got all this money. Of course, the rake was about 3%, so that's pretty good. And I just took it all in. Just took it. Slam. So the lesson from this hand is that when you are so focused on getting someone's money, don't forget about the other guy in the hand. And like maniacs, if it was just me and Slasher Jason, I did everything correctly on the turn, the flop, turn, and river, because Slasher Jason's the maniac. So any top pair or even some good medium pair is a premium against maniacs. Just don't fold. That's what I recall hearing from that poker coach. So I did everything right against Slasher Jason, but just not through. What was the other thing I want to talk about? I mean, like, I knew that through's um, raising range, three betting range was very very strong because I knew that. Well, first of all, he had to fight this guy, and this guy, even though he's a big fat big time gambler and is a bluffy and is just a maniac, but when Through made up his system to raise right here, he knew that this guy. It was based on the belief that when someone raises from this position, they would have to fight this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. So Through's decision making was based off the fact that he had to fight the range of whatever this guy had when he two bet. And not only that, but when Through three bet, he knew that he had to fight this guy, and this guy as well. So not only does he have to fight the range of this guy, but he has to fight the possible ranges of this guy, and this guy. So this guy, whose ranges has to be strong because he had to fight this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, had a strong range. And then when he re-raised them, then Through re-raised Slasher Jason, he had to fight this guy, and this guy as well. So that's why I knew that Through 8 had to be strong. And probably my ace queen wasn't as strong as his. And also, I don't really know what made me think that he was so strong. Maybe it was what I just said, but maybe it was just like the amount of time that he used to re-raise Slasher Jason. Like his tempo. Like the amount of time he used, or just some type of. Maybe these stakes, like when someone three bets you in these stakes, they're pretty strong. Like there's not a lot of three betting. I don't do a lot of three betting, and that's probably one of the weaknesses in my game. But I just feel that when someone three bets you in these stakes, that's pretty strong. I don't know what made me think that Through 8 was so strong, but I just think that's how I knew that he had to have like ace queen or better. Okay, I'm getting sleepy. So that's one thing I want to talk about, and also, so like, there's a lot of things you have to think of. There's a lot of things to enjoy while playing poker. Like, there's a lot of things like there's a lot of joys you can have while playing poker. There's going to be like the decision making, or the fact that you're fighting other people, or like the strategizing, or just in general making plus expected value moves, plus positive equity moves, positive expected value moves. But there's one thing that I think is really important, and that is the joy of navigating through the hard decision points within every session. So, like, you know how every session, like 2 hour, 3 hour, 8 hour session, you're going to face, like, most of the time you're going to be facing easy decisions. Like, just bam, bam, easy decision. And other people are going to also face these decisions. It's going to be easy for them as well. Like, if you have a set and you face someone who's bluffing into you, you know what to do. So it's an easy decision. And other people are going to face those easy decisions as well. And they're going to do it correctly, just like you. But when you face hard decisions, and other people are going to have to face hard decisions as well, that's where you have to differentiate yourself from the other people in order to beat the level of the stakes that this place is that you're playing at, or whatever level of game you're playing at. So like a sit and go, you have to beat the $1 sit and goes. You have to play those hard decisions better. You have to navigate through those hard decisions better than everyone else, and that's how you differentiate yourself from other people. Because if you just like base yourself on the easy decisions, everyone's the same because it's an easy decision. But hard decisions is where people differentiate themselves. So the joy of poker, one of the joys of poker, is navigating, being ready, and navigating, being in the mindset to correctly navigate through those hard decisions that comes around several times in every session. Like I can't do it with this map. So yesterday I had I had played a 2 hour session. I had like two very very hard decision points, which was very very hard for me, and I lost money on both of them, and that's how I lost $2 yesterday. But if I had been telling myself to navigate through those hard decisions better, I might have won $2 and saved myself from losing $2, and that's how I would differentiate myself from other people. Kind of like that. So, I just feel okay. And one more thing, if you've actually watched some of this video, can you tell me what I could have done better throughout the hand? Like just this is a lower stake game. This is 1 cent, 2 cent game, and can you tell me what I could have done better throughout the entire thing? Uh, like, I feel like I did pretty. I feel like if I had my raise on the turn was pretty normal, but I had this feeling that this guy just had something, and I still did it anyway. That's all I know. So if you can tell me what I need to do better, like I'm watching poker coaching videos, like it's not like I'm not doing anything, but still it would be nice if I had other people's input. And this is not because I wanted to raise the level of my channel. I just need input because I suck. Okay, bye.